I saw you over here. So now we have our kind of surprise guest, and this is a company that is, has always been potentially a giant in local and is a giant overall. We're talking about Super Bowl ads. We're talking about a company that has 2,000 inside sales reps where, they have 11,000 customers. And you guys can actually just come on right up. And anybody know who this is, by the way? Based on my, probably very vague clues of our surprise guest. So who we're welcoming here is GoDaddy. You guys can take a seat here. And Renee from Loku, who GoDaddy just acquired. So, gentlemen, if you want to first introduce yourselves, Raj, if you could talk about yourself, and also, GoDaddy, this, it's a company that's kind of new to this audience, but one, like I said, that has always had a lot of potential in reaching SMBs with website development, hosting, and the ways that's developing. And then, Renee, if you'd like to talk a little bit about, Loku's background for those unfamiliar. So, Raj?
Absolutely. Thanks again, Mike. Sure. So this is, again, GoDaddy's first entry point into BIA-KLC. We've never been here.
Right.
So this is a big opportunity for us.
We're excited to have you.
Meeting a lot of friends here. So as to myself, I run what we call in GoDaddy a presence and commerce division. We've been talking a lot about presence, small businesses. Suraj just mentioned about small businesses having mobile sites. So getting small businesses online, helping them really have a presence that makes sense, growing that presence over time, and ultimately enabling them to attract and retain customers. That's really what my job is. And in a nutshell, the success or failure of this comes down to one thing: making our customers successful.
Yep.
Right? So that's where Renee fits in very nicely. And when we partnered with Loku, we realized that there was not just a marriage of technology, it was literally a marriage of mind.
Right.
So I'll hand it over to him to talk about himself.
Go ahead, Renee. I think, you've been on our stage before, but for those unfamiliar with Loku.
Yeah, so the 30-second overview is we help local businesses. We started in the restaurant vertical, but really now all local business with a preference for service-based businesses to get their information out there. Primarily the things, what are they offering, right, to really be found by consumers. And we have partnerships with companies like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Foursquare, OpenTable. I think it was up here last year, and we talked about the OpenTable deal earlier last year. And so really a broad partner network where we can basically help local businesses push information in real time, and that's particularly interesting if you think about sort of information that changes more often than maybe just the basic record. And so that's really how we're helping local businesses.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned OpenTable because we're seeing a lot more functionality come into demand. Whereas it used to be presence and marketing, this has been a theme throughout yesterday and today, additional things that satisfy SMB needs on a more operational level, appointment scheduling, and also as part of that, it's kind of deeper levels of data. We heard Daphne at Yext talk about this earlier, and I think, Renee, that's where I think you guys come in well with more, data sets that are becoming more expected by users. And for advertisers, especially small business advertisers, to do things like, what is on their menu or what is their inventory. So it seems like this is one step in a direction for GoDaddy towards kind of a broader range of services and features for small businesses in their presence and their operations. Well, what else can we expect, even if it's in general terms, in terms of GoDaddy's direction for broadening the product?
It's a very good question. And look, GoDaddy has been in the industry for a while.
Yep.
It's not
not at all,
surprise.
Right?
It's not. We have about close to 3,700 employees.
Yeah.
Like you said, 2,000 plus people who are in customer care.
Yep.
What's happened though is completely significantly changing in the company's vision and strategy.
Yep.
And how we are approaching this space. It's not known that we have about 11 million customers.
Yep.
Out of which 8 million are small businesses.
Yeah, that's huge. Right?
And if you think about it, these are small businesses that are super, super small.
Yeah.
Like less than 10, less than 5 employees,
right?
So these guys, when you talk about, data, and when you talk about websites, even that is completely foreign to them.
Yeah.
And that's why Surjit faces that problem when he's talking about mobile site. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Mobile site? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What's that?
Right.
So
they don't even have a website, a desktop site yet.
Desktop site. Like less than 50% have a desktop site.
Now, we need to move on very soon, but I want to ask you, because I think it relates to that, is that, one of the major challenges for a lot of people in this room is reaching that huge and opportune, but yet very challenged and fragmented SMB marketplace. I think you're in a good position to go after it, because if you have a user base that already is by nature whether they're using the product for personal reasons or whatnot. But it's the ability to upsell, the ability to build upon an existing relationship, and to kind of come into this world of SMBs and BIA Kelsey conferences, seems like you're in a very interesting spot to do so. What's your advice to the people in the room that are similarly going after that SMB marketplace in terms of your learnings from what they're looking for, what's working and what's not working?
I think the number one thing that you have to be focused on and what's working for SMBs, really think about how that drives them to their number one need, which is get customers and acquire customers.
Sure.
So that's the first thing. Like any solution you build, you ask me the question on what we are focused on. Well, naming domains, right?
Yep.
That's core to what we do. Pretty critical for any SMB.
Sure.
Get that right. Second piece, I want an online presence, some form of online presence, so that I know I'm a legit business. I'm professional. That's the second piece.
Yep.
Anyone in this room who's thinking about how do I help a small business go online, need to do it in a way that's cost effective and that ultimately drives traffic to that site. And the third piece to that is ultimately what Local starts to get into, which is how do we really enable that small business to market themselves very effectively.
Absolutely.
And Renee could probably add.
Yeah, I want to add
Go for it, Renee.
thing to that. And for us, we realized in the partnership really what GoDaddy stands for. And in this community, maybe it's not that well known, and we rather associate GoDaddy with sort of the Super Bowl commercials in the past. But the small businesses that are GoDaddy customers, the 8 million SMB, they love GoDaddy. And when we did the partnership and got to speak to them and actually met the folks in customer support and sales, we realized they really care. They really want to help local businesses, SMBs succeed. And for us to see that and then see the focus of the new leadership team, seeing Raj up here, Blake, the CEO, came from Yahoo, very strong product person. It's really a shift towards a product company with a strong technology backbone that's being created, and that combined with sort of this massive, I would call it success center, because these are really a team of people that want to help local businesses succeed, and combining those two is very powerful. And that for us as Local, really what really made us really excited to join that journey. And I think that's the success also, more broadly speaking, for everybody in the room. If you care about the customer, if you put the customer first, and then have strong tools, technology, that's a great combination. So we're here to meet folks, partner with products that fit into the portfolio, talk about the publisher platform that we're continuing as Local. Mark Weiss, my head of BD, is here in the room. So he's not in the room, he's out there meeting folks. So make sure to connect with us, because we have big plans.
That's a good place to end it. Please come and find these guys if you're interested in talking to them. So join me in thanking these gentlemen and the rest of the preceding speakers.